Well, I'm making progress on the CAD work for the brakes. That's upstairs on the laptop. And I need to make sure the bracket will work with this. So I'm going to do a little CAD work down here. That's a cardboard aided design. So it's not important that that goes all the way down. I just need it far enough down that I can get my bolt hole centers. Okay. Then I also want to mark okay, I don't think that's too critical, but okay, so let me turn this around so you get a better idea. So the bracket is going to mount up tight against these, okay. And so actually making them out of 3/4 inch might give me plenty of meat there to run the bolt holes in, okay. Because I'm grabbing these gingerly because they got grease, silicone grease on them. So I need that profile. I need the bracket to come down into here a little bit, okay. I need it to clear this edge of the pad on both sides. And then for strength, you know, I kind of want it to stay fairly close to the pad and come over. It doesn't really need to clear this. Oh, but it does need to clear the piston. Okay. It does need to clear the piston because the bracket's not going to go back any further than the face of the casting, which is the same here. So it doesn't need to clear this. It does need to clear the piston though, because the piston's going to come out with the pad. Out here it doesn't matter, that's on the other side of the rotor, no big deal. I need enough material there. I don't have to go this far down into the caliper, okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a diameter. I may come out to the side a little bit more, and then the other holes are going to be over here, and so then I'll come back at an angle. I don't see any reason to come way the hell out. So this goes way down into the caliper, and then it comes over past the edge here, which I don't see any reason to do that. You know, maybe they wanted more meat there so that it would for strength or something. Not sure. Anyway. I'm thinking that, you know, this could get rounded off here, come up, get rounded off there, and then go like that. Maybe that's that extra distance there for, you know, to act more as a dust shield. It'd be nice to talk to them and ask them about it, but that's not going to happen. So I showed on Instagram, I'm posting stuff. I'll have to see. Maybe I'll add those videos into the editor if I remember and make them part of the YouTube video. So I went over, you know, the consideration, stuff like that for, you know, the CAD design and stuff. And so this is 3/8 inches thick, and I opened this hole up just a little bit. These are representing sleeves that will probably go in there, and then they can get set exactly at the depth needed, and then, you know, welded in. Okay. So I did one already just to basically make sure I could do it. I don't always do my failures off camera, but, you know, hey, every now and then. The pins, I guess actually I could see whether or not... oh, look at that. Nice. The pins are an 11mm by 1.5 thread. And it just happens to turn out that I had one. So this 4-flute carbon steel tap is certainly strong enough to do the 3D printed plate. Okay, I don't know that I would trust it on a 3A steel plate or with these little sleeves. Now these little sleeves, part of the advantage too is I could set it up on the CNC lathe and single point thread it. And, you know, then even better. I could also just turn the OD where I want to, get the ID where I want it, and then, you know, have one of the tools be a tap and just want to tap it. Anyway, options. Okay, so I am going to go a little slow. I don't want it warming up, because then it will just take the threads off and gum everything up. And I'm pretty tickled with that. Now, hopefully, we'll find out that they both thread right in, line right up. I guess technically they need to line up and then thread. So the bosses are going on that side. So they're pretty darn close. I still think that there's probably a metric equivalent there. So I should probably go ahead and measure these. I eyeballed it more or less on the 5 3/4. Let's go mount it up on the car and see whether or not those bolts fit. And I don't feel like fighting with the weight of the caliper, so yes, I'm going to pull the pins back out. Well, I thought about bringing the caliper, the hub, and the rotor and all that shit out, and I thought, you know, if it doesn't fit, then, you know, there was no point. So, oh, the holes aren't big enough. So either they didn't print the right size. Oh, I had them as .495. That's not right, because those are 1/2-inch bolts. So, well, I'm having a little grief with the camera again. The battery, the big battery that I pulled right off the charger, shut down more than once and replaced the battery. Not enough juice. So I have all 3 of the big batteries, you know, which do 3 to 5 hours or something like that. So I got the little one on there that doesn't even do 2 hours. So anyway, so I don't know for sure. Oh yeah, I got silicone on there. I guess I'll have to grab a rag. So I'm redoing part of this just in case, but I did these bolt holes at .495. I'd have to measure them to see just how close they are, but those are 1/2-inch bolts, so I at least got to go open these up just a little bit. And I got to open the top ones up too. Those are 7/16. So drilled it out 1/2 inch, 7/16. They're not quite far enough apart. Okay, but let's. Yep. All right, it's big enough to go over. So for now, I think I'm going to go drill this out to a tiny bit bigger. Well, I've been fighting for a bit with the damn camera. I've had this issue before, especially after it sits for so long. And I hate that silicone. Once you touch it, man, it's everywhere. So I got to make sure I don't drop the camera or anything like that. So I don't know what footage has been successful or not. Okay, that seems to line up okay. And that one seems to line up okay. So my vertical seems to be okay. The spacing on the top one seems to be okay. I just need to file these out, re-drill them, something. And I'll tell you what, for as much as I fought with it in the CAD, there's a good chance I slightly moved one of them. So I got to go back and double check everything and see. I'll remeasure to try to get it a little more accurate. See if maybe I messed a number up or something like that. So let me go open these holes up here. I had a slightly bigger drill bit. I had to put it in the drill press because the chucks on my drills only go up to 1/2 inch. So I only drilled this one out. If it works okay for that, then oh, look at that, nice. Nice. That means that these 3 are okay, and I only have to screw with that one. I mean, I've got the tolerances pretty damn tight, so they both may need to be out just a little bit, but okay. Yeah, see, that's more than rigid enough. I have no clue how much footage is actually being saved. The camera's still screwing up. Annoying as hell. It's one of the many reasons I quit doing YouTube videos before. Well, sounds like I got something off. Yeah, it looks like the bottom one down there. Okay, I see what's going on there. And I also see why they had a much bigger hole in the center here. Okay. See, that boss sticks out 1/8 of an inch more. So before I go cutting that tab down, I'm going to go open up this center hole so it'll sit all the way down. That also explains why I don't quite have as much thread sticking out as I thought I would. So, okay, let's go do that. Took the hole saw and cut that out larger, and it's way big enough. Okay, and this being in 3/8 inch plate, it's still going to be more than strong enough. So I'm not positive what size the hole saw was. I just know it was big enough. So, oh yeah, there we go. Oh, that's more better. So we'll see where this centers up, and I put the bosses on the wrong side. Isn't that cute? So that is the caliper centered more or less. So you can see the boss is sticking out there, and it's roughly the same amount as the sleeve. So if I put the boss on the other side, should be good to go. See the daylight to that pad, and daylight to that pad. So I'm pretty darn close to centered. The pad is plenty inboard, okay? And I am not upset with it being a little bit more inboard, because that means that this surface is inboard as well. I'm gonna have to see about machining the hubs so I can get the, not the hubs, the rotors, so I can get the studs in, because I won't know for sure clearance with the caliper and the rim until I'm able to mount the rim, and I can't mount the rim with the rotor like that. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I think the next iteration, the bracket's going to be just right. So, oh well, fingers crossed.